We're good Apology family, reaction video. Love everything you know about the Bronx. About the Bronx. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button, make that blue. Subscribe to the channel, make that gray. Let's hop into this.
Many people hear of the Bronx and immediately think of J-Lo, Yankee Stadium, or the Bronx Zoo. And unless you're up for a game of baseball or a day at the zoo, it's not typically the borough that most New Yorkers and tourists will flock to. But did you know that this highly underrated borough is rich in history, with much beauty and cultural sights abound? Today we're here to talk about the Bronx and all the things that make it so special. So sit back, relax, and be ready to be amazed by what New York's most northern borough has to offer. Without further ado, here are 11 things you didn't know about the Bronx. Number 1. It's called the Bronx. I had to get that out of the way first for the many out-of-towners who often don't realize it. Out of the 5 New York City boroughs, the Bronx is the only borough that starts with an article. As we all know, Manhattan is just called Manhattan. It's not the Manhattan. Brooklyn is just plain Brooklyn, not the Brooklyn. But when it comes to the Bronx, you have to include the in front of it. So in New York City, we don't say Bronx, we say the Bronx. On a side note, when you're writing an address, you don't include the in front of it. I know this can be somewhat confusing at first, but trust me, you'll get the hang of it after a while. Number 2. Riverdale is a part of the Bronx. I just wanted to make that clear. Riverdale is an upper middle class neighborhood in the northwest part of the Bronx overlooking the Hudson. There you'll find some of the most beautiful homes and mansions in a lush suburban setting. I can't tell you how many times I've been corrected by a Riverdale resident when asked if they lived in the Bronx. Their common reply is,
"No, not the Bronx. Riverdale."
Though last time I checked, Riverdale was still part of the borough. It hasn't seceded yet. Sorry folks from Riverdale, but your fancy neighborhood is still part of the Bronx, whether you like it or not. Number 3. It's home to Little Italy. If you thought Little Italy was in downtown Manhattan, think again, because it's actually in the Belmont section of the Bronx. Just a few blocks from the zoo is where you'll find the real Little Italy. And with so much more to offer, it quite simply blows all other Little Italys out of the park. On Arthur Avenue, you will find all the best offerings of imported Italian delicacies, restaurants, and more. The businesses are all privately owned and run by generations of Italian families who endow each venue with their own unique touch. Foodies and those in the know all flock here to take part in the friendly, old-world Italian atmosphere. However, for most New Yorkers, this Little Italy has remained unheard of and has become one of the Bronx's well-kept secrets. Number 4. It's home to the new Fulton Fish Market. Remember the open-air Fulton Fish Market that existed for decades in Lower Manhattan? Well, they haven't closed down. They simply relocated to the Bronx. The new Fulton Fish Market is now an amazing 400,000 square foot indoor refrigerated facility. The 37 seafood businesses who now call the Hunts Point facility home offer New York the freshest and most diverse selection of seafood you'll find in the entire city. Number 5. It's on the mainland. Of the 5 boroughs in New York City, the Bronx is the northernmost and the only one that actually exists on the mainland United States. All other boroughs are small islands in themselves, or they sit on a larger island. Number 6. It's the birthplace of hip-hop and salsa. Yes, you heard it. In fact, they have the actual South Bronx address as 1520 Sedgwick Avenue for the birthplace of hip-hop. This is where DJ Kool Herc introduced his breakbeats DJing technique in 1973. Legend has it that he also began rapping during the breakbeats, which led to the rise of other new techniques and dances, including breakdancing. Though salsa has its roots in Cuba, the South Bronx takes all the credit for its rise to fame in the United States during the 1960s and 70s. This led to an entire movement for generations to come. Number 7. It's New York City's greenest borough. Out of the 5 boroughs,
Nice
the
catch.
Bronx happens to be the least developed, with 25% of its land acreage dedicated to parkland. Pelham Bay Park on the northeastern coast is not only the largest park in the Bronx, but the largest park in all of New York City.
Yeah, but I thought Central Park was the largest park.
Nope. Pelham Bay Park is even larger, boasting nearly 3,000 acres of natural forest. You also have other large green spaces such as the New York Botanical Garden, the Bronx Zoo, Van Cortlandt Park, Soundview Park, and Crotona Park. Number 8. Orchard Beach. I know, when it's time to go to the beach, everyone flocks to Coney Island, the Rockaways, or Long Island. But so many fail to realize that the Bronx has its own beach. Orchard Beach is a crescent-shaped beach tucked away in Pelham Bay Park. It features a boardwalk, a picnic area, a bandstand, and a handful of concession stands. It's a small beach compared to other New York beaches, so it can get pretty crowded. Now, if you wanted some more breathing room, I would recommend going only on the weekdays. Number 9. Tour de Bronx. Every year in October, the Bronx hosts a free bicycle event as a means to promote a healthy lifestyle and to tour the Bronx landscape and its unique neighborhoods. The tour is not a race, but strictly for leisure. It got its start in 1994 and allows cyclists to choose from 2 different touring options of 25 or 40 miles. Over the years, the Tour de Bronx has gained a lot of notoriety, and now over 10,000 cyclists from all over the world come out to participate in this fun-filled event. Number 10. It's the birthplace of the Capitol Dome. In the mid-1800s, the area known as the Bronx today was home to some of the best iron foundries in the country. It's no wonder that the foundry of James Fowler Kirkland and Company were awarded the contract to build the U.S. Capitol building's Iron Dome. Other notable ironworks hailing from the Bronx are the statue of Abraham Lincoln at the Lincoln Memorial and the lions at the New York Public Library. Number 11. It has the oldest bridge in New York City.
And all this time, I thought the oldest bridge was the Brooklyn Bridge.
The High Bridge was completed in 1848, which makes it the oldest standing bridge in all of New York City. This pedestrian-only bridge arches over the Harlem River and connects the Washington Heights section of Manhattan to the High Bridge neighborhood in the southwest part of the Bronx. The High Bridge was built to carry and conceal the early Croton Aqueduct, which brought water to the multitudes in New York City at the time. Today, the original aqueduct pipe still lies directly under the bridge's walkway. The bridge had been closed to the public for more than 40 years, but recently reopened in 2015. Pedestrians and bikers can now enjoy leisurely strolls and panoramic views along the newly restored High Bridge. Alright guys, it's gonna be a wrap for now. If you're keeping any additional Bronx secrets up your sleeve that you'd like to share with the rest of us, feel free to include them in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more on New York City, our favorite city that never sleeps. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see each other next time.
If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like button, turn that blue subscribe button, turn that video. Catch y'all later. Peace.